All right, today we are putting some recessed lighting in this ceiling. This is a best case scenario because I've already got a couple lights over here. I already have a switch on the wall over here, and this has attic space above it. So if I do need to get up there, I can. I'm going to show you the way I do this. Hopefully I don't need to get into the attic at all. We could do it all just from the holes that we're going to put in the bottom. If you want to see a little bit more of a difficult job on how to do this, say if you had living space above, if you had to pull wire across floor joists, let me know in the comments and I could shoot a more extensive video. Maybe say if we didn't have a light switch and we needed to pull power from an outlet or a switched outlet, add a light switch somewhere on a wall, and then put the recessed lighting in. Let me know in the comments and I could shoot one of those videos a little later down the road. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is just go to the very end of the line and demo the old can light. I'm going to use this hole and the existing wire in this hole to run the rest of the recessed lighting. So I got the light down and you can see up inside here, if I can get my camera in, we have an old junction box, which is great because I'll be able to just tag onto that to drop my new light in. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm just measuring that existing can light, how far it is off the back wall, how far it is off the side wall. Then I go to the first the first light on this row. I'm going to put it in the same spot, so I'm kind of off the camera there, but I'm measuring off the wall, the two walls. I get a little stud finder there. You'll see it again in a second, making sure that I'm not putting that can light right on a joist. Then I shoot a laser between the two lines. That's how I get it straight. Pull a tape measure, figure out how far it is between the two lights, all the way to the end there, and then I come back and I'm going to just measure half that distance and split it so I'll have one light right in the middle. So that's me checking. It's just a little magnet stud finder, so I'm just feeling for nails, and that would tell me if I was going to have a joist right there. You don't want to drill a hole right on top of a joist. This is just a drywall cutout tool attachment for a drill. You can get it at any of your big box stores. I'm cutting the hole the right size for my first light in the line. I expected to find one wire up there coming from the switch going to the light all the way at the end, but there was two. So I'm using my hot stick here to figure out which one is the wire that is powering my lights. So I could see one wire was hot, one was not. I had the switch off. I come over here, put tape on the switch in case anybody flipped it on while I was working up there, but flip the switch back on. And I could see that that wire that was not hot before is now hot. The other one's been hot constantly, so now I know which one is my switched light. Now that I know which wire I'm going to be using for my can lights, and I know that that power is off, I'm going to reach up into this hole and I'm going to cut that wire. Now I'm reaching as far into the hole as I can, making sure I don't have any staples holding that wire down near me. And I'm going to cut that light, or cut that wire up in that hole a little ways. So make sure that I've got enough wire that I can pull back down into my hole so I don't leave too short a wire that I now can't connect my first light to it. Alright, so now I'm just using that cutout tool again. I'm putting the third light in this row right in the center. There it is, and up in that hole you can see, as we expected, there's the wire that goes to the last light, the original wire. So I'm going to get up on a ladder here and I'm going to cut this wire. Now I'm going to use this wire just like I used the one coming from the switch for the first can, and this one I'm going to reach back towards that first light, the first hole that we drilled, and I'm going to cut that wire. And I'm going to pull it down. So that's going to be the wire that daisy chains to the final light of the can that I removed. So I'm cutting out the second row of lights. There's the first hole, and then there's the second hole, and then the third hole is all the way down at the end there. It's the existing light. Now you can see I've got this is back on the first row. I've got the two holes that I cut, the one at the very end, and I got a wire coming from the switch out of the hole that I'm working in right now, and I'm shoving my wire fish up into the attic because I need to connect the wire from the first hole to the second hole. So I shove that wire fish up there, reach up in there, into the insulation, pull that wire fish out, connecting some new Romex, some wire to that wire fish, and then I just pull that wire fish back through, and there's my wire daisy chaining between the two holes. Now I'm just going to repeat steps 1, 2, 3 for the lights on the second row. I'm going from the first hole down just over the drywall. I don't have to go over the joists, or the trusses in this case because it's an attic. I just run that wire fish right along the drywall, attach my new Romex, and pull that wire from that second row to that first light, give that a snip, and then do it again on this row. And I don't need to pull a new wire on the back two lights because there's already a wire connecting them, the original wire, that I'm just going to plug the new lights into. And that last light, which I haven't quite demoed yet in the back left corner, but that is a can that already has power to the box. All right, so this is the original back right light that had the original wire from the switch to this light and then a wire from here to the other can light on the other side. I'm just cleaning up those ends using some Wago wire nuts and connecting the new recessed light, the LED light. Inside there's a junction box on this light, so you don't have to add any junction boxes. Just making all the wire connections, black to black, white to white, green to ground, green to green, and then put this light up in the hole. Comes with a little finish plate already attached to it, nice and clean. So now I'm just repeating that step on every single hole. I'm cleaning, stripping my wires back, separating all my, grouping up blacks, whites, and greens, making all my connections, connecting it to the light, and then that light just snaps into the hole. And I just keep repeating this step on all 6 lights.
So much better, Daddy.
Now for the finishing touch, it would be a shame to have these nice new recessed lights and this old toggle light switch, so I'm going to replace this light switch with a nice new dimmer switch from Lutron. So here I'm just demoing the old switch. Now you're definitely going to make sure you turn off at the panel for this because you do have a hot wire in this junction box even when it's disconnected. So make sure it's off, demo your old light switch, get your new Lutron in my case, but whatever light switch you want to put on there. I really like these Lutron ones, they're slick. And it's got some instructions in the box because there's a couple extra wires in there in case you're hooking up a 3-way. Follow the instructions, you can see those Wago clips there, and then just screw your new light switch into the box, put a nice little cover plate on it, and call it a day. Thanks for watching.